Welcome to the Browns Overreaction Monday show. Yeah, stop blaming Kevin, man. Stop it. Just stop it. Welcome to the Fanatical Elves Network. I'm John Suchan, and we're talking that great Monday. No, it's not a victory Monday. It's that overreaction Monday that Browns fans worldwide love to have because they love to put blame on someone. Now, many people who listen to this show or listen to me right now, who know my history and what I've talked about is in terms of Kevin Stefanski. I've been a critic of Kevin over the 4 years, but I'm getting a little frustrated, as many Browns fans are, listening to the overreaction of so many of you Browns fans out there who really are just going way overboard with this, blaming Kevin Stefanski for the throwing the ball on 3rd down and 3 with 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the game, with the Browns clinging to a 3-point late lead in the game up in Seattle on Sunday. Just stop it. Like my colleague Steve Gill, who does the Dog Pound South podcast, shared earlier on his show, just stop it. And the most, well, it's just annoying. There are so many of you fans out there, and even those, there are from writers and bloggers, Cleveland sports writers, people that I've listened to for years and read articles about, who for some reason have decided that they want to blame good old Steady Eddie for one play in a game where there were countless errors and mistakes and problems with the Browns. And that has a lot more to do than one damn play that did not have any bearing on what happened after. You played what, 60 minutes, right? 15-minute quarters. And it's just absolutely crazy listening to the takes for the last 24 hours. Absolutely nuts. And there are who I thought were decent writers in the Cleveland community who are, again, talking about Kevin run the damn ball. Now, I've been in that spot before, and I know some of you who have listened to my takes over the years have heard me say, run the damn ball, Kevin. But for God's sakes, man, stop it. What happened yesterday is just ridiculous, and how you're blaming the coach in this moment. There are far many more reasons to blame. Yes, that great defense you guys all think is fantastic. They are stinking up the joint. Yeah, they really are. Are you shocked? Are you paying attention? Are you watching the games? In the last 3 games, the Browns defense has puttered, and they have blown it. In the game against the 49ers 2 weeks ago, let's go back and review for a moment. The Browns get a field goal, take the lead late, very late. There's only, a minute to go in the game. What happens? Oh, San Francisco runs down the field, sets themselves up perfectly for a relatively short 41-yard field goal. Pretty reliable kicker who's at that moment, he was a pretty reliable kicker. Well, guess what? He missed a field goal. Thanks be to God. Hallelujah. The Browns pull off the upset over then the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. It was a great moment for the Cleveland Browns, a great moment for the fans. But the Browns defense blew it. They blew it. They could, if they're that great and fantastic under the direction of Jim Schwartz, and I'm not blaming Jim Schwartz in all of this, but there is some blame that should be countered to Jim Schwartz. Yeah, it might be the only guy who's saying this, but let's think about this. If you want to think for a minute instead of just overreacting. Last week against the Indianapolis Colts, it was a track meet going back and forth. At the end of the game, the Browns took the lead 33-31. What happened next? Do you forget? Oh, that's right. The Colts went on a 2-play drive. No yardage on the first run to Jonathan Taylor. Oh, but guess what happened on the next play? Yep, that's right. Gardner Minshew hit one of his wide receivers, caught the ball. Our defensive secondary blew it, missed tackles. The guy scampers Pittman for 75 yards and a go-ahead touchdown with about 6 minutes to go in the game. The Browns could have stopped them had the Colts pinned down at the 25 with 6 minutes to go, but couldn't shut them down. And better yet, they did it in 2 plays, scored on them, which then required, that's right, that PJ Walker that everyone is hating on right now, who was, let me remind you, 2-0 going into this game. And all he did in the Colts game was help take the team down the field on an 80-yard drive. Then Kareem Hunt punches it in on that 4th down play to win the game for the Browns last week. Now we get to this game. Let's start at the very beginning. The Seattle Seahawks, what did they do? Oh, that's right. They took a 14-point lead over our Browns defense that's supposed to be so fantastic. No, they weren't fantastic. And they were getting close to getting blown out of the water in that game if it weren't for the offense to start producing and coming through with some great plays. And those plays, like my colleague Steve Gill pointed out, were drawn up by, oh, that's right, Coach Steady Eddie Kevin Stefanski, who Kevin Stefanski calls really good plays. But you know what you guys are all forgetting about when you want to fire Kevin? Is that those plays have to be executed. And my colleagues that I used to write for with Dog Pound Daily, we would talk about this, and they're talking about it today. It's the execution of those plays by the players. And the players of the Browns were executing those plays that Kevin Stefanski has been calling probably for his entire being in Cleveland. There were some caught passes yesterday that went screen passes that went for big yards. You don't think Kevin Stefanski called those plays a time or two over these last 3 or 4 years? Come on, man. These plays balls are being dropped, passes are being misthrown by whoever's the quarterback behind center for the Browns. In this game against Seattle, they benefited from the players catching the screen passes and the quarterback, PJ Walker, doing what he needed to do and getting the ball to them. There were a couple really dicey screen passes in there. Think about, the crowdedness where he was throwing those passes, but they were completed. And they worked their way back into that game, tied the game, were down 17-14 at the break, came back and continued it and took the lead midway into the third quarter. Let's pause here for a break real quick. This is the Fanatical Elves Network, and this is our Overreaction Monday show. And yes, I'm telling you right now, you Browns fans, to stop blaming Kevin. It's not the coach's fault. Okay, we'll be right back. We're back. And yeah, I'm still going to continue. Stop blaming Kevin. Just stop it. So we're in this game. We have the lead. The Browns had the ball for, that's right, 37 minutes compared to Seattle's 23. If you thought the Browns were on the field a lot yesterday, they were. They had 150 yards running the ball. Fantastic. Okay, but now here you go again. Oh, we were running the ball so damn well. What's Kevin doing? Why is he not running the ball on 33 with 2 minutes and 4 seconds and the Seattle Seahawks with 2 timeouts in their pockets? Well, we all know what happened next. Right? PJ goes back. Of course, we've all seen the still figures of where there were 2 other, David Njoku and Jerome Ford, wide open, and that PJ Walker was locked in and wanted to hit the slant to apparently Amari Cooper. Why didn't he throw it there? Why didn't he throw it there? Again, it does come down to execution. And again, these are the things that happen with a player like PJ Walker. Yes, he's third string quarterback, but he's an NFL quarterback. I don't care if he's called second string, third string. The guy has played in many NFL games. Did you know that he beat Tom Brady? Yeah, he did. As a Carolina Panther, he helped the Carolina Panthers beat, that's right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The kid can win, the kid can play. And oh, by the way, he was 2-0 coming into this game. So stop in putting down PJ Walker and now talking about him. Get rid of him, get rid of him. What the hell are you guys talking about? Honest to God, if you guys are Browns fans and you want to fire the coach and you want to get rid of PJ Walker, stop being a Browns fan. You have no business at all talking to Browns fans who are, I'm honestly more loyal than you are about the Browns. You have no business talking about getting rid of this guy and firing the coach. Do you want the Browns to be a successful franchise? Then you don't fire coaches every second that you think that he made the wrong play call. Or just the idea, hey, did you think about the fact that maybe the players didn't execute something right? So just stop being a Browns fan. We're tired of listening to you guys, throw this stuff out. It's just there's no sense to it. You just want to talk. Ugh. It's very frustrating to listen to. And if you're frustrated listening to this, then just stop listening to us. But if you're not, you can, talk all you want about our Fanatical L's network. Tell them we got a few, overreactive commentators on this network. If you want to do, talk about all the things that you want to talk about. The play in question, you go 3rd and 3. Now, there's all these different scenarios there, right? You're saying, well, run the damn ball. Okay, if they run the damn ball, then everyone's saying, well, then if they don't get it, then they punt the ball and they pin that Seattle team deep in their own territory. And yes, Seattle hadn't been doing much on offense. That's a good job by the Browns defense. But we've seen the Browns defense falter over the last couple of games. So even if the Seattle gets the ball pinned at the 25-yard line, let's say they didn't get it, they run the ball, they punt it. Now they have the full 2 minutes, they have the 2-minute warning, or they just had the 2-minute warning, they have the 2 timeouts. There's no reason why that, we don't know what's going to happen. Even if they got the first down on the run play, everyone's saying, well, give the ball to Kareem Hunt. By the way, Kareem Hunt is a crybaby. I love Kareem Hunt, but he was, pissed off. I get it. He wanted the ball. I would have liked to see Kareem Hunt get the ball as well, but he didn't. You know why? Because he had a player like Pierre Strong and even Jerome Ford who made some decent runs. They had 155 yards combined. He's talking about, well, I didn't even get the ball. If you go back and watch each of those series and how the Browns were using their running backs, maybe Kareem gets in there later, but in that moment, he did not. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him in there, but he wasn't. But then he starts throwing his coach and saying, well, I just do what I'm supposed to do. And then today, Kevin Stefanski, yes, his head coach told him that Kevin Stefanski would talk to Kareem Hunt, but he also said he wants players that want to help the team win. Coach Kevin Stefanski is going to put up with a player like Kareem Hunt. You wonder why Kareem Hunt wasn't welcomed back to the team and wasn't given an extension. I think you caught a little glimpse of why that was, because you have a player who's more, he wants to help his team win, but he's also pointing out what he thinks are faults of the coaching staff. It's not a good mix. And hopefully they can get it corrected. And hopefully Kareem Hunt can learn to be a team player and not throw his coach under the bus. So let's say the Browns get the first down. All you guys, run the ball, give it to Kareem. Coach Stefanski's an idiot. So they get the first down. So then let's say Seattle burns those 2 timeouts. Great. Then that has the Browns punting the ball. giving Seattle the ball, maybe let's say inside the 10-yard line with a minute to go, let's say, based on the clock and how much time would run off after they punt it. So let's say there's a minute, they pin them down to the 10. That's still a lot of time. Oh, and guess what? You remember how the Colts went 75 yards against them in in 2 plays in the week before? All they needed was a field goal to tie the game and put it in the overtime. So all of you out there, and even these expert writers and bloggers that I have seen in the last 24 hours, you talking about run the damn ball, Kevin, and how this was a monumental mistake by Kevin. You guys just aren't paying attention, and you just want to find someone to blame, and it's really pathetic. I mean, I don't like every play call that Kevin Stefanski has ever created, but a lot of times when we are complaining about those play calls, I'm reminded, like I'm reminding you, that it's more about the execution. The NFL is a group of guys who are experts at their profession, and if they screw up, players screw up. They don't run the routes, they don't do what they're supposed to be doing, they don't tackle the right way, they don't defend the right way, and those are reasons why teams lose. This Browns team lost yesterday not because of that decision by Kevin Stefanski to have PJ Walker drop back and throw a slant pass. That's not on him. If you want to, it's one of those things that just happens. I mean, how many times have you seen a football bounce off of a guy's helmet and go 20 yards the other direction? It was a major, what do you want to call that? Like a flop or a blooper, right? We'll see this for years after this. Just stop blaming Kevin. I'm so tired of it. So tired of it. You should be too if you're a diehard Browns fan and you care about this team, because that was a heartbreaking way for that team to lose. And you don't need players bickering about how they're upset about what happened, and like Kareem Hunt. Anyway, there you go. That's our Browns Overreaction Monday show. Stop blaming Kevin. We'll have a lot more coming up this week, I'm sure. Anxious to hear our Joel K do the What the Elf show. We've got Elliot with his Browniac show. We've got Sam down there in Dallas. He'll be talking about the breaking down the show. I'm anxious to hear his take. We all have different takes, and some of them are going to blame Kevin, but on this one, I am not blaming Kevin at all. Browns lose a heartbreaker. They should have won the game, but that's not the coach's fault. Guys, take care. Have a great evening, and thanks for tuning into the Fanatical Elves Network. Follow us on Apple, on Spotify, and all those platforms. We'll talk to you next time. Go Browns.